Hello everyone and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. If you don't know who I am, my name is Caitlin. I post a variety of different films on my YouTube channel, so I'd recommend to go support a small creator. But for today, I'm going to be going through my top films of 2025. These are the top 12 films I watched this year, best films I watched this year, so stay tuned for that. But I just want to preface before we start, I was never really someone who was into movies. I always thought they required this like grand attention span that I just never thought I had. But this past year I've been really getting into films, so I have been doing some catching up on just classics and just some general films that most people have watched but I never watched. So I have a few good well-known ones in here, but also some niche ones because I had a phase through summer where I was just in a film bro phase trying to find these niche like film student films. So I have a few of those. So yeah, there's quite a variety, but yeah, let's get started. The first film on this list is Black Swan featuring Natalie Portman. This film was so insane. Definitely like a psychological thriller, but it's basically about a ballet based in New York, and ballet just becomes her whole life, her obsession. She's working so hard to the point that she's beginning to develop these illusions, and there's just so much jealousy and envy and self-obsession, just obsession in general. And towards the end she just starts to delve into insanity, which I love those types of films. But yeah, this was truly incredible. I rated this a 5 stars, but I would highly recommend this film. So good. The next film is The Sixth Sense. This follows an unexpected tragedy. Child psychologist meets a 9-year-old boy named Cole who's hiding a very dark secret. I'd say people tend to talk about the twists in this film a lot, but I think this film is very much about human connection, because this psychologist, he was very isolated, very lonely, yet he found himself confiding in this little boy, and that was his way of having this form of human connection. But yeah, there is a very crazy twist, but just the scenes, you do not see it coming. I remember this twist came up and I literally gasped out loud. But I highly recommend this film. It was so good. And next, a classic which I haven't seen, classic in the queer community, is But I'm a Cheerleader. I found this on YouTube. I watched it completely for free on YouTube, but I love this. I love the colors in this movie. It gives very like Lazy Town vibes to me. Just all very crazy, like Polly Pocket. It's fun. It has that emotional connection element, the coming of age, finding yourself, finding your queer identity. And just the story between the two girls is truly amazing. It's also really funny. It's really easy to watch. I'd recommend this film to anyone. I think anyone can watch it, unless you're homophobic, so maybe don't recommend it to any homophobic parents. But otherwise, if you're trying to find your queer identity or just your identity in general, this is a very good film to watch. And next, this is where I'm talking about classics I haven't watched. I have never watched Little Women up until now, the most recent version, with like Florence Pugh, Emma Watson, Timothée Chalamet. This was a slice of happiness, honestly. This was such a good film and very good for Christmas season. I watched this in the summer. Just everything about it, just the cinematics, the different storylines, the different stories of the sisters, and just the connection they all have together. It's very coming of age. They're all trying to figure out what they want out of life, trying to figure out who they are. You know, there's some clashes between the sisters, but you see them make it up to each other in the end. And it's just such a light-hearted, easy watch film that it's just so good. I'd recommend this to anyone again, because it's just a classic and I love it. And it's so great seeing such great actors all in like working on the same movie together. I always love when that happens. And next, Ladybird. I've never watched Ladybird, but it's about a girl called Ladybird McPherson, a strong-willed, deep opinionated, artistic 17-year-old, comes of age in Sacramento. The challenges for her with her relationship with her mother are very evident in this movie. I think this is mainly the whole basis of the movie. But you follow the challenges with her mother and the dream of leaving a small town, which has been all you've ever known, and then trying to navigate this new environment, new people, new jobs, yourself. You're trying to figure out yourself. And yeah, you really see her just go through the transitions of being a teenager. This really teleports you back to what it feels like to be a teenager. Rebellion, trying to figure out who you are, trying to figure out love, self-identity, your relationships with your parents. And yeah, I loved this one. This really stuck quite close to my heart, I think. So I definitely recommend this film. Now, I couldn't believe when I watched Mysterious Skin. I was very blindsided. I saw the really cool edits on TikTok, not knowing how traumatic this film was going to be. Don't get me wrong, it is a work of art. It is a masterpiece. I would recommend, if you feel like you're ready for it, first off, look at the trigger warnings because, oh my god. If you feel like you're ready for it, I'd recommend to watch it because it is a masterpiece. I personally just would never watch it again. I only needed to see it once. But it's about a teenage hustler and a young man obsessed with alien abduction, and they end up crossing paths together, discovering a horrible, liberating truth. One boy knows what happens and one boy doesn't, and then this masterpiece unravels. But again, a very teenager-y film, trying to figure out your self-identity, but then obviously these boys have been deeply traumatized and impacted by this event that happened earlier on in their youth. But great actors, great music, great scenes, but a very hard watch, I would say, so be careful. And next we have The Grand Budapest Hotel. I love this film, Wes Anderson film. It's actually the first Wes Anderson film I've ever watched. But the story involves the theft and recovery of a priceless resonance painting, the battle for an enormous family fortune, and the slow and then sudden upheavals that transformed Europe during the first half of the 20th century. I think this is brilliant, cinematic, fun, and a light-hearted watch. It is the color grading so fun, the pastel pinks, the pastel colors, the uniforms, the characters. I love the energy of this film. It has such a specific pace. It starts and then it kind of rises up, and then there's this like, there's just so much energy, and you feel it's like a very youthful energy to this film, which I just absolutely love. I would definitely recommend this for you. Next, I watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This made me cry, and I'm not a big crier when it comes to media, but this did. It is about a high school freshman called Charlie, and he is known to be a wallflower, always watching life from the sidelines, until two senior students, Sam and her stepbrother Patrick, become his mentors, helping him discover the joys of friendship, music, and love. And then through discovering his pathway to making friends and discovering his interests and doing all this, we slowly uncover and unravel a traumatic event that happened to him as a kid, and it kind of answers a lot of questions we had. The first half of the film, you can see why he is the way he is, why he reacts the way he does. But I would say this definitely brings you back to how rough the high school experience can be. Obviously, this is very American high school, which I don't know, but just in general, any high school experience, if you had a hard time in high school, any bullying, just struggling to make friends, it really brings you back to that. And I feel like if you're going through that right now, it's a very good film to watch because it kind of shows there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you are at the more mature stage of your life where you've been to high school, done and dusted, it kind of makes you appreciate how the phase of your life you're in now is not how it was when you're in high school, and it just kind of brings the appreciation as to how high school shaped you into how you are. That's at least how I perceived it. Now, into my more film bro films, I watched the Three Colors Trilogy. blue, white, and red. I'm not even going to attempt to say the director's name because I don't want to butcher it, but this is a trilogy, 3 films, and each film tells a mostly independent story centered around a different ideal from the French Revolution. They're all French films, I just watched them with subtitles. So blue is about liberty, white is about equality, and red is about fraternity. I loved all of these films. I'd say blue is definitely my favorite, but they're all just so, even though they're a trilogy, they're all just so different that they're hard to compare to one another. But they're pretty short, they're pretty easy to follow, and there's just such a specific color grading theme. You can just tell what's setting each film apart from one another. But I really loved these. I was so immersed in it. I wouldn't even say they were movies, they were whole experiences. That's how I would describe it. And next, I saw this in cinema, The Long Walk, a film inspired by the book The Long Walk by Stephen King. About 50 teenage boys take part in a deadly annual walking contest, forced to maintain a minimum pace or be executed until only one survivor remains. This was also quite emotional towards the end because you follow these 2 teenage boys who befriend each other during the race, and obviously there can only be one survivor. And I think from a delusional aspect at the start of the film, I was like, okay, I know there's supposed to be one survivor, but surely there's a twist or something that will make both of them survive, because I really did not want one of them to die. But not to spoil or anything, lower your expectations, but the end has quite a twist. But I think it's not about the ending and who wins the race, but the journey of all the boys together. That is the main focus of the film. But I really loved that. I think I gave that a 4.5. Next, I watched The Phantom Thread, and it's a movie about, in the 1950s London, a renowned dressmaker's meticulous lifestyle begins drastically changing as his relationship with his young muse intensifies. This film is a dive into insanity. It has twists. You're on the edge of your seat the entire time. It was at the start of the film, I was like, what is going on? I don't really understand. I don't think I still understand, and I've watched the film, I've let it marinate in my head for weeks. But it is such a good film. There's not a boring moment. I was constantly engaged. There was always, and oh my god, the soundtrack, they put you on ease. Like, the soundtrack gives you goosebumps and just heightens your anxiety leading up to these twists and turns in the film. But very good. I very like the cinematography of this film. It was gorgeous. The main character, she was gorgeous, and she wore these gorgeous dresses by this dressmaker. But very, very weird. But I definitely recommend it. Yeah, it's definitely something to watch. So yeah, and then my final favorite movie of the year, I went to see, and I went and sat in the cinema for 5 hours to watch Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Now, I am mad I hadn't watched this any sooner because, oh my god, the best action movies I've ever seen. Specifically the first one. I'm not very big on action movies, but this completely changed me. I could not believe the fight scenes. They were so creative, so intense. But yeah, so it follows a woman known as the Bride, who is a former assassin who awakens from a 4-year coma after being shot by her mentor and lover, Bill. She embarks on a vengeful quest to eliminate Bill and the deadly Viper assassination squad who betrayed her. And the sound effects, so funny. The soundtrack, I rarely listen to film soundtracks, but after the cinema, I immediately looked it up, and I'm still listening to the soundtrack to this day. But yeah, and Uma Thurman, she's such a good actress. It was just so incredible, and the colors, the clothing, everything about this film is just perfect to me. I rate this a 5 stars, and this might be my definitely top 5 films of all time, but I haven't watched too many, so for now it's getting first place. But if you haven't watched Kill Bill and you're a big action fan, Please, I'm begging you to please watch this film. But yeah, those are my 12 films for the 12 months of 2025. I hope you enjoyed. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more movie type YouTube videos as I get more into this interest of mine. But please comment and let me know what films you guys watched this year, any you recommend, because I always need recommendations. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.